Okay guys, this is my last video for the week. At this point, you should have completed all of the elements under day one, including reading the article Boys and completing reading log 6. Under day two, you should have read criteria for ad analysis. It's only 2 pages. You should have watched the video that shows you how to apply that criteria to sample ads. You should have watched the video on how to create a thesis for your chosen ad. And you might have wanted to take a look at these sample ad essays. Again, this part isn't required, but I highly recommend it. It's always good to look at what other students have done successfully so that you know what you need to be doing. What I want to talk about today is how to turn your thesis into an outline and then create body paragraphs. Before the end of this week, by Sunday at 11:59 p.m., you will have created a thesis for your essay, a rough outline, and at least 2 body paragraphs. Your final essay will have at least 5 paragraphs, an introduction and conclusion, and at least 3 body paragraphs, possibly 4. So let's take a look at how to do that. Okay, here is that first sample thesis that I gave you in the last video. The Volvo ad uses a specific composition, color, texture, and text to seduce board drivers and appeal to their desire for success and adventure. It's important to remember one very basic rule when it comes to organizing your essay. The thesis sets the outline for the essay. So in this case, this thesis lists 4 important criteria. We are going to discuss those criteria, each one in a separate paragraph in the order that they appear in our thesis. So below the thesis, you'll see a sample rough outline, right? Nothing special. This is what you're going to put into your writing log for the end of this week. Notice that you'll have an introduction that ends with your thesis. Then you'll have a body section with your body paragraphs. Because we list 4 criteria in our thesis, we will have 4 body paragraphs in our essay. Composition is listed first in our thesis. Therefore, composition will be the topic of our first body paragraph. Color is listed next and will be the topic of our second body paragraph, and so on and so forth. And then obviously your essay will end with a conclusion. So real easy to put your ideas into an outline once you have a thesis statement. Now what we need to talk about is how to organize those ideas into body paragraphs. All right, get a pen and paper and jot this down. There are 4 basic steps to creating a successful paragraph. Step number 1, you need a topic sentence, and that topic sentence needs to state an opinion and clearly identify the topic of that paragraph. So if my first body paragraph is about composition, the word composition should appear in my topic sentence. Step number 2, evidence. In the case of this particular assignment, your evidence is the ad itself. You're going to describe what you see in the ad. So if I'm describing the composition of the ad for the Volvo ad, I might talk about the car and the lion and how they're sort of shown as mirror images of each other. Okay. X, explanation of evidence. What does the evidence do for the viewer? How does it cause viewers to respond? How does it attempt to cause them to respond? What is the reason that the advertisers put these elements in this order? And then thesis connection. How does all of this support the overall argument you made in your thesis? So let's take a look again at our sample thesis, our sample outline, and our first body paragraph. Our thesis says, the Volvo ad uses a specific composition, color, texture, and text to seduce board drivers and appeal to their desire for success and adventure. We know from our outline that we've created that our first body paragraph is going to be about composition. We know from the notes you just copied that our first body paragraph, the first element of our body paragraph is a topic sentence that clearly identifies the criteria we will be analyzing and states some sort of opinion. So let's take a look at a sample. Okay, step 1 of a body paragraph. Create a topic sentence that clearly identifies the criteria you will be analyzing and states some sort of opinion about its purpose. Step number 2, evidence. In this case, describe the element that you'll be analyzing in this particular paragraph. Step number 3, explain the importance of that criteria. Why did the advertisers put these elements in this particular order? And then last but not least, connect it back to the overall argument you made in your thesis. Let's look at this sample paragraph. The composition in the Volvo advertisement narrows the viewer's attention straight to the product being sold. The lion is underneath the Volvo to construct a mirror image. The lion is also positioned at an angle with the car to make them both look larger. The positions of the objects are done to reflect the strength and power of the car. The viewers are encouraged to compare the lion pictured in the ad to the car shown above. The advertisement shows a relationship between the car and the illusion of a lion, suggesting that they are the same thing. Buyers believe that the elegant car has an inner wild side. Drivers are no longer bored going from point A to point B. The consumer will have the power in their fingertips to make the car take them on an exotic adventure. All right, step 1, topic sentence. Identify the criteria, state its importance. The composition, there's our criteria, in the Volvo advertisement narrows the viewer's attention to the product being sold. It forces the eye to the product. Evidence. Describe the composition in this case. Describe the criteria you'll be analyzing. The lion is underneath the Volvo to construct a mirror image. The lion is positioned at an angle with the car to make them both look larger. Okay, so here you're describing it as though your viewer cannot see it, even though you're actually going to copy and paste a copy of your ad into your essay underneath the title of your essay. You're still going to describe it in your body paragraph as though I can't see it. Okay. Underneath that, we have to explain the importance of it. Why did they do it this way? They're positioned that way to give the car this idea of strength and power, to associate strength and power with the car. The viewers are encouraged to think power and wildness with the lion, associating that with the car. How does that go along with our thesis, which says that this is an ad for bored drivers who want adventure? The consumer will have the power in their fingertips to make the car take them on an exotic adventure. You see how it's all connected. So I highly recommend that as you create your body paragraphs, you actually write the letters T, E, X, T along the margins of a piece of paper, and you fill in each step and then put them all into one paragraph. If you feel confident and comfortable after this short video, you can stop here. Otherwise, continue watching for a second sample. In our last video, we took a look at this ad for Che Men's Magazine, and now I'm going to use that to create the second sample outline and body paragraph. Okay, here's the thesis we created in our last video. In an effort to sell magazines to an audience of men, the Che advertisement in Computer World objectifies women. The text, focus, and framing equate the product to a better dream world in which women are always sexually available. Okay, so we've identified our topic, Che. We have made our argument. This ad objectifies women to try to appeal to an audience of men who might want women to be sexually available to them. We also talked about how the thesis sets the outline for the body of the essay. So again, you're going to have an introduction that ends with this thesis statement, and then you're going to use that thesis statement to organize your body paragraphs. We've listed 3 criteria in our thesis, in this case, text, focus, and framing, and we're going to discuss each of those criteria in a separate paragraph in the order that they appear in our thesis: text, focus, and framing, and then you're going to have a conclusion. Let's take a look at how we'll organize that first body paragraph. If you haven't copied these notes down, here they are again. Remember, there are 4 steps to creating a strong, well-organized paragraph that incorporates evidence. You need a topic sentence that identifies the topic and states an opinion. You need evidence, in this case, a description of the criteria. You need to explain the importance of that evidence and how they affect the viewer, what it makes us think or feel or do. You need to then connect that evidence to your overall thesis. Let's look at our sample paragraph. The text in the Che advertisement uses a metaphor to equate the product to a better dream world. The accompanied text at the bottom of the advertisement reads, Let us keep on dreaming of a better world. Following this fine print, as it were, is the logo that identifies the product that the advertisement is selling, Che, a men's magazine. Notice the quotes around the words that came from the text. The advertisement has a playful tone, suggesting that the better world to which it alludes would be a fun place to be, and the fun would be of a physically intimate variety. The model seems to represent a sort of flashy girl, a nubile young woman who is available to anyone who is interested in calling her, that the magazine is apt to feature on a routine basis. By purchasing or subscribing to this magazine, customers gain admittance to the better world of fun-loving, available dream girls. Okay, from our topic sentence, we've clearly identified the criteria that we're going to be analyzing in this paragraph, in this case, the text. We've stated an opinion that the creator of this ad is trying to equate the product with a better dream world. Then we have evidence. In this case, we are quoting and describing the text. We have the words, let us keep on dreaming of a better world. We also describe this fine print in the lower corner and talk about how that fine print is placed right next to the logo of Che's Men's Magazine. Okay. Then we explain the importance, right? By using this phrase, let's keep on dreaming of a better world, the creators are creating this fun, playful tone, and they're associating this idea of a better world both with the magazine, since the logo is placed right next to the words, and with the woman who takes up most of the space in the ad. So the idea here, the assumption is if you buy the magazine, you'll get to see lots of these sexually available women featured in the magazine and therefore have access to this better world. All right, so now you have an idea of what you're going to be doing. You're going to move on to your next writing log and create a thesis, a short, quick, rough outline of your essay, and at least 2 body paragraphs.